Greetings, future spouses, and welcome to HouseLux Estate. We're your go-to channel for all things related to finance, law, and lifestyle. Today, we're diving into a topic that's crucial for anyone considering marriage: prenuptial agreements. These legal documents can feel intimidating, but they're a vital part of planning for the future. That's why it's essential to understand them fully before putting pen to paper. Our aim? To demystify the prenup, making it less about apprehension and more about informed decision-making. We'll be exploring the key aspects you need to consider, from legal representation to the role of state laws, and even the emotional implications of such an agreement. We promise to keep things simple, clear, and concise. So, if you're considering tying the knot soon, join us as we explore the 10 things you need to know before signing a marriage prenup. First off, what exactly is a prenuptial agreement? A prenuptial agreement, often referred to as a prenup, is a legally binding contract entered into by a couple before they get married or enter into a civil partnership. This agreement is all about planning and protection. It sets out how the couple's assets, including property, savings, and other investments, will be divided if the marriage or partnership were to dissolve. Prenups also cover details about any debts, inheritance, and even spousal support. Essentially, it's a roadmap that helps avoid uncertainty and conflict in the unfortunate event of a divorce. However, it's not all about breakups. A well-drafted prenup can also serve as a financial planning tool to help couples understand their financial rights and responsibilities within the marriage. Now that we have a clear understanding of what a prenup is, let's dive into the important things to consider. Number 1 on our list, the role of attorneys. Now you may be thinking, why do I need an attorney for a prenup? Here's why. Each party needs their own attorney to ensure fair representation. It's like having a personal coach in your corner, guiding you through the legal jargon and making sure you understand every clause in that contract. Let's get real for a moment. Prenuptial agreements can be complex. They involve your finances, your assets, and in some cases, even your future children. That's a lot to process, and you need an expert to help navigate these waters. An attorney will balance the scales, preventing one party from having undue influence over the other. They play a crucial role in ensuring that the agreement is fair, enforceable, and most importantly, in your best interest. So, when you're ready to draft that prenup, don't go it alone. Remember, having an attorney by your side is crucial to protect your interests. Secondly, full disclosure. Now, this is a crucial element in the process of setting up a prenuptial agreement. You see, a prenup is not just a piece of paper, it's a reflection of the financial reality of both parties involved. Each partner must fully disclose their assets and liabilities. And when we say fully, we mean fully. This includes properties, investments, debts, everything down to your last penny. This disclosure is not just a formality, but a legal requirement. Withholding information or misrepresenting your financial status can lead to the invalidation of the agreement. It's essential to remember that a prenup is built on mutual trust and understanding. So when it comes to sharing financial information, honesty is not just appreciated, it's mandatory. After all, this agreement is meant to protect both parties and their interests. Honesty is indeed the best policy when it comes to prenups. Thirdly, let's talk about future earnings. It's essential to understand that a prenuptial agreement could significantly influence your future income. For instance, you might be the next big entrepreneur, your partner could write a best-selling novel, or perhaps one of you might inherit a fortune. These potential earnings can be impacted by the stipulations in your prenup. In some cases, future income is considered separate property, meaning it's not subject to division in the event of a divorce. However, this is not always the case. Depending on the terms of your agreement, future earnings could be considered shared property, meaning they would be divided between both parties if you were to part ways. It's essential to discuss these possibilities with your partner and your attorney to ensure that your prenup accurately reflects your intentions for future income. So, keep in mind that your prenup can have a significant impact on your future financial status. Fourthly, don't forget about state laws. While prenups are recognized in all 50 states, how they're enforced can vary widely. This is because each state has its own laws regulating prenuptial agreements. Some states, for instance, might require certain conditions to be met before a prenup is considered valid, such as full financial disclosure. Others may have specific rules about what can and can't be included in a prenup. It's also worth noting that if you move from one state to another, the laws of your new home state may apply to your prenup. So, if you're considering a move, it might be wise to consult with an attorney to understand how your prenup could be affected. State laws are a complex and critical aspect of prenuptial agreements. They can influence everything from what you can include in your agreement to how it's enforced. Remember, it's essential to know your state's laws before signing a prenup. Fifth, let's discuss child support and custody. This is a crucial topic that often raises questions when it comes to prenuptial agreements. It's important to understand that, regardless of what you and your partner may agree on privately, prenups cannot dictate terms of child support or custody. These are matters that are always determined by the court based on the best interests of the child. Prenups are primarily designed to address financial matters between spouses, not parental responsibilities. Therefore, any clauses related to child support or custody in a prenup are likely to be disregarded by the court. It's also worth noting that the court's decision on child support and custody is not final and can be modified as circumstances change. This is to ensure that the child's needs are always met. In conclusion, while prenups can cover a wide range of issues, child support and custody are matters for the court, not the prenup. Sixth on our list is fairness. In the intricate dance of drafting a prenuptial agreement, fairness is the rhythm that should guide both parties. It's not only about protecting individual assets, but also about ensuring that both parties feel secure and respected. A prenuptial agreement at its core is a safeguard, a promise that if things go south, the fallout will be managed with dignity and fairness. It's not a weapon to wield in a power struggle, nor a tool for exploitation. It should not favor one party over the other or be used to gain undue advantage. Remember, the essence of a prenup is to lay down the groundwork for how assets and liabilities will be handled in the event of a divorce. It's about setting clear expectations and maintaining a sense of fairness between two parties who are about to share their lives together. A prenup should be fair and just, not a tool for exploitation. Seventh, timing is key. Now, you might be wondering, why does timing matter when it comes to prenuptial agreements? Well, starting the prenup process well before your wedding day is crucial. It's not just about crossing an item off your wedding checklist. It's about ensuring that both parties have ample time to understand, negotiate, and agree on the terms without any undue pressure. Consider this. A prenup is a legally binding document that could significantly affect your future. You wouldn't want to rush such an important decision, would you? Moreover, courts are cautious about prenups signed too close to the wedding date, as they can be seen as coercive. If the agreement is perceived as rushed or forced, it could be challenged and potentially invalidated in court. The takeaway here? Start early. Give yourselves plenty of time to navigate this process comfortably. Don't rush the process. Timing is everything. Eighth, changes can happen. Yes, indeed. Life is a series of unexpected events, and your prenuptial agreement should reflect that. From new business ventures to the birth of children, the circumstances of your marriage can and will change over time. It's essential to understand that a prenuptial agreement isn't a static document. It can evolve with your relationship. Consider your prenup as a living, breathing document. It should be flexible enough to accommodate the ebbs and flows of your life together. You might start a new business, receive an inheritance, or have children. These are all significant changes that should be reflected in your agreement. It's also worth noting that changes can be made post-nuptially, meaning after the marriage. So if you didn't consider something in your initial agreement, or if something has drastically changed, you can update your prenup accordingly. In conclusion, a prenup is not set in stone. It can be updated as circumstances change. Remember, it's all about ensuring fairness and protection for both parties, no matter what life throws at you. Ninth, beware of invalid provisions. It's important to remember that not all that is penned down in a prenup is set in stone. There are some provisions that could potentially make your prenuptial agreement unenforceable. For instance, any clauses that promote divorce or are morally offensive can be deemed invalid. Also, if provisions are too one-sided or clearly favor one party, the court may reject them. Remember, the law will not enforce provisions that are against public policy or that involve illegal activities. It's also worth noting that you cannot include personal matters or non-financial aspects like chores or appearances in your prenup. This is a legal document and should stick to matters of property, finances, and other legal considerations. So it's always best to work with an experienced attorney who can guide you and ensure that your prenup is not only fair, but also enforceable. Ensure your prenup doesn't contain any provision that could render it invalid. Finally, the emotional aspect. We've covered a lot of ground in the realm of legalities and practicalities, but it's crucial not to overlook this aspect. The discussion of a prenuptial agreement can bring up a whole array of emotions. Some may feel it's unromantic, others may see it as a sign of mistrust. It's important to approach this conversation with sensitivity and understanding. Remember, it's not a reflection of your love for each other, but a practical step to protect both parties. It might be challenging, but it's a chance to communicate openly about your future, your fears, and your expectations. It's an opportunity to demonstrate respect for each other's individuality and autonomy within the partnership. It's about preparing for all possibilities while hoping for the best. It's about balance, fairness, and mutual respect. So, approach it with care, patience, and openness. Remember, a prenup is not just a legal document, it's a part of your relationship. Let's quickly recap what we've learned today. We've delved into the definition of a prenuptial agreement, the crucial role of attorneys, the importance of full disclosure, and how future earnings factor in. We've explored how state laws impact agreements, the handling of child support and custody, the necessity of fairness, and the significance of timing. We've also discussed the potential for changes and invalid provisions. Lastly, we've touched on the emotional aspect of prenups. So there you have it, the 10 things you need to know before signing a marriage prenup. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We've covered a lot today, from defining prenuptial agreements to understanding their emotional aspects. Navigating these waters may seem daunting, but remember, knowledge is power. Let's continue exploring these topics together on House Lux Estate. For more informative videos like this one, be sure to click the subscribe button. Don't forget to subscribe and join us next time on House Lux Estate for more insightful content. Until then, stay informed and make wise decisions.